Alright, today we're working on a 2008 Acura TSX and it has a failed HVAC fan. So I'm going to show you how to diagnose it and change it. Let's get started. Alright, and we're going to come over here to the passenger side and you're going to look underneath here is where the HVAC fan is. It's very typical on almost any car. This would work on pretty much any vehicle that I've ever worked on. It's the same test. Alright, and on this car, all you do is grab this little plastic panel and start pulling it down. You can use panel trim tools, but this one comes right off. And then you pull straight out. It's got these little pins, and they go back into these little holes in the very back. And then these are the little panel clips, and they go right up through these little holes right there. All right, and then if you look straight under here, the motor is right here. I'll show you there's an electrical plug going to it, and we're gonna go ahead and disconnect that. I'll show you a little closer. So this little one, you're just going to take your finger and push it down, or push this little tab in right here like that, and then you're gonna pull it down. Oh, come on. Let's try it here with two hands. So I'm pushing the little tab and then pulling down. And they can be kind of tricky. That little tab just doesn't like to bend super easy all the time. But that's all I did was push this little guy, just like that. And we've got the car set to on, and the fan is on. So all the lights are on the dash, and the fan speed is all the way up. So that's what you're gonna wanna do is run the fan speed up. All right, and then you're gonna get a multimeter, and you're gonna wanna set it to volts, and then make sure it's set on DC volts. So not AC, DC. All right, and then you're going to take your multimeter, and you're gonna put it in these little tabs right here, and then it's showing 12 volts right now on the multimeter. So we know we're getting power to the motor. The other thing we can do is the terminals that are on the motor itself. We can take this and set it to resistance, which is this right here. That symbol means ohms. And we can run a test to see if it has continuity, which it does, but oftentimes these bearings will seize up inside of here. Sometimes they'll go completely. Looks like it has 1.75 ohms. That was K ohms, so 175. What was that? No, that's 1,000. So 1,700 ohms. We already went ahead and got a new one because we're getting power and it's not spinning. So we can test this one and see what it's getting. It's getting about 0.4, 0.7. And it goes up to 1 point, about the same. But we're getting power to the old one and it is not spinning. So that's the big thing. What can happen is the bearing inside of the motor, if you were to take this little squirrel cage off, there's a bearing inside of this motor that'll seize up, and these puppies will get to a point where they just won't turn at all. So we're gonna get this fan out of here.
I also tore the old motor apart to see what actually failed inside. I'm putting that in a separate follow-up video, and I'll go through how these motors work and why they fail.
All right, and this one so happens to use a T20, so I've just got a bit set. I just grabbed a T20 out of it, and there's 3 screws that hold this puppy in. There's one here, let's see, one there, and then one right over here. So we'll go ahead and get them out. You can see it trying to move already. They're heavy, so they want to fall out of there. So for the last one especially, you want to just keep a hold of it. I think my screwdriver has seen its better days, my ratcheting screwdriver. Or it needs lubricated, I don't know. And it's just going to drop straight down. We may have to move this harness a little bit out of our way. I may disconnect it and move it completely. We'll see. Let's try and get it out without doing that. Oh yeah. Well, it's not seized up. All right, and then what you're gonna do is just plug this plug in. Make sure the fan is off before you do this. So we got it plugged in, and then I'm going to reach back up and turn the HVAC fan back on. And we have fan. Let's turn it all the way up. All right, so that is good. Now we can go ahead and unplug it. So you push this little tab again and pull the cord back. It can be kind of tough. They don't want to grab out of there, so you really got to push them hard. Sometimes you have to take a screwdriver and push it in here to get it to come out, because this little tab won't come past it. That's what's hanging up right here. All right, let's put this one in. So just for fun, we put the old one back on, and this is kind of the early signs of a failing fan. Oftentimes you'll hear it when you're going around a corner. It'll change directions and it'll go like this. Now this one's rattling all the time, but they'll start rattling a lot, or rattle differently when you go around corners. You kind of hear this one kind of cut out. But what happens is the motor lands on a spot inside there where the windings are completely dead, and it just doesn't get it to turn. But the moment you take it and move it from that spot, it will start, and it'll start moving on you. So oftentimes, if you're like on a trip or something, simply taking the panel off and smacking against it with it on could potentially get it to come on if it's not seized up. If it's seized up, a lot of the time you're toast. Now you see this one spins for a second after I stop spinning it, whereas this one just continues to kind of evenly spin. This one comes to a stop a lot faster. So it's starting to seize up a little bit, but not terrible. And then the fan has to go in. You can actually see the cabin air filter up there. So the fan will go in like this, and then you got to remember to get the cord around it. And this little tab lines up over here in the corner. And I'm gonna get my screwdriver. I'm just gonna start it by hand. Just start a couple screws. And I gotta get my face down in here so I may block the light. This is kind of one of them jobs that you're up under the car and there's not a lot of room up under here. You wish the seat was out, but it'd be more work just to get that stupid seat out than change the fan and just be uncomfortable for a few minutes.
Considered buying one of these 3-in-1 under dash creepers for these type of jobs. Kind of like this one because it's a multiple use one, but I just kind of noticed that Viver has this one that looks pretty sweet, and I don't know that I could even make or like convert my existing creeper into one of these for as cheap as Viver's selling it for. So I'd buy one of these. I'll drop a link down in the comments. If you get one, drop a comment and let me know how you like it.
Okay, we got one screw started. I'm gonna try and get 2 started before I let go of it. Come on. That one I could start by hand. This one's hard to start by hand since it's got that spot in there. This little area that you can't really reach down inside of. All right, and then we'll put this one in. Open. This one's kind of, you gotta really get your head in here to see where the screw is, because it's kind of behind this piece here. Be careful if you're gonna test your fan like we did. That fan is spinning at a very high rate of speed and it could really hurt your hands. Or if you had a loose piece of clothing, it could suck it in and it wouldn't be good, like a lanyard or something. That would be bad. All right, you're almost done. Okay, and then we'll plug in the plug. And you can go ahead and start it now and make sure it works again now that we've put it in. That's for you, sir. Good. Go through your fan speeds. Airflow and all the speeds. Yeah. All right. You can shut it off. All right, so we ran the fan through all the different speeds. It is kind of making a little bit of noise like that. I bet this filter is just nasty dirty. You're probably gonna want to change that. That filter being clogged can kind of put some strain on that motor, and that's generally what will kind of make them go bad sometimes. All right, this and just normal wear and tear. So these little pins, like I said, go into these little holes on this one. Oftentimes you'll see something like that, and then these little tabs just line up right here, and all you do is push it in. Now this has also got another pin over here that goes in this little channel, so you got to kind of slide it into that first. Boom. There we go. All right, so we got airflow now. This one is good to go. Thanks for watching. I'll put a link down in the description to the parts we used. They are affiliate links, so we do earn a small commission. I do appreciate you using those links. It does not cost you anything, but we earn just a small commission, and it helps the channel grow. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure and hit that like, subscribe button. Thanks again. Bye.